Alright folks, the deck is Jailer Warlock. The goal of the deck is to draw into Loken, Jailer of Yogg-Saron, as early as possible, summoning either a 20/20 minion from the Dankness or a 15/15 from Fanottem. Now we can also copy that with Forge of Wills so that we can get two big beefy boys on board and blast our opponent in the face. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. You can catch me live at twitch.tv/Roffle or here on YouTube.
Watch this!
Don't pull the wool over my eyes.
Alright, we're running both of the bag cards that Twitch chat and YouTube comments love, so hope you appreciate what I've sacrificed for you. Alright, we're just gonna go next. This is, well, gonna say not worth my time, but maybe they're actually here. Okay. On-curve Forge. We just need to find our on-curve Jailer now. Why is everyone AFK and just to up the pass? Being AFK is actually not productive for... Let's set that to the bottom. Wait, I chose the wrong one. It's not productive to rope out if you want to level up in the battle press. It was only a very brief window of time where that was actually a viable strategy. Do you think the neutral legendary, the one with the hero power, is going to be good in Wild? I don't think it'll be good in any context ever. I really needed that, but at least we know this isn't, Oh man, Objection just wrecks me, doesn't it?
I'm late.
So if this is Objection and not Explosive, I'm,
Excuse me,
just out of luck.
are on fire.
I suppose it could be like Flame Ward or something, but... Or even Explosive would be fine. Let's get a different card. Unlucky. As a viewer, I always assume opponent is stream sniping if they rope early. As a streamer, I can tell you that's almost certainly not the case.
It'll be our little secret.
Double plot twist. Fantastic. It's probably a rig fair game is now the problem.
Well met.
23 and me, but with Hearthstone's best creator. Hope Yogg-Saron you're doing well today.
I appreciate that, Skyblood. Thank you for the... that looks like 24 months. I guess that's the and me part. But thank you so much.
Your signature is required.
Ow. Why would you do that? Heals 2 either way, right? I am not looking forward to playing a minion this game.
I intend to deceive.
But I suppose I do have to draw a minion before that can become relevant. Here comes the pain. Okay. That was quite lucky. That was indeed good, yeah. But not at all what I was expecting.
I do plenty to burn.
Your signature is required.
Claymore maybe?
Well
An
met.
ice block?
Wow, 20 months. Hope your day has been well.
Thank you, Monchis.
This is only the beginning.
A new planet to burn.
I don't even know if I should be tapping right now, but I feel like locations need more counterplay. No. I think of all the problems in Hearthstone right now, locations are very low on the list.
Praise fell.
I'm curious if this is going to work. Unlucky. Okay.
Praise fell.
That's what I assumed would actually happen, but it's probably worth testing in a low impact situation like this. There's no reason to tap.
Of the Legion.
Just leaves me in a vulnerable position. Hey, there he is.
Thoughts on a Tony? Construct quarter, jail a deck with Helia to kick it off. Should do infinite plagues.
We tested that, and it seemed like when Helia shuffles, or when you draw the plagues, it doesn't shuffle them back immediately. It shuffles them after the draws are finished. So it would, like, if you empty your deck, play a Tony, and then shuffle 3. First of all, that's like infinity mana, which is impossible. Second of all, like, it doesn't work the way that you're hoping for. It would shuffle 3 in, they would draw 3, take fatigue damage, it would shuffle the 3 back in. But mostly it's like the infinity mana that costs. Found the one opponent not running 1 but 2 ice blocks. Alright, don't concede. I want to hear Gary's attack voice line.
Death is a mercy. Job done.
Okay. This is not ideal. Is it better now? Marginally. We're queuing into fewer bots, but the humans that we are encountering are playing like the try-hard decks like Secret Mage and stuff still. And Questline Druid. We just curve this into this and then hope that we can find our jailer quickly. If we do hit the jailer, we probably win the video game. Just because that's, like, such a huge taunt to get through. Unless they, like, I don't know, luck their way into a naturalize or just for some reason are running naturalize, so we should be fine. I can't imagine this is much better. Look, given the density of bots that I was playing earlier, I will take humans playing, like, the same meta decks over that any day. Like, I don't think that there's a worse situation than what I was dealing with this morning. At least for me. Very nice. All right, we drew the card. Jeez. That's a big hero power. Break? Do they really want that face damage? I will take that if they do. Looks like it. Or they just have an owl here. Okay. It's also just kind of fine. Nice.
The whispers. I can't resist.
Alright. Not bad. Unfortunately, there were some lists that were running Poison Seeds. I just realized. Ugh. If this opponent got their list from a high legend player, it's kind of common that they run it just to deal with like Brute Demon Hunter or Questline Demon Hunter.
I concede.
Hold on, I gotta let my dog in.
Never bring a sword to a fish fight.
I think it's well, it's tapped. Just because I have this on 3, then this and this on 4. Good enough in terms of the amount of healing that we get off of it. Demonic Assault isn't bad.
Well met.
Journey to Ungoro out.
Something like that. Thank you, Dark Brighton. It's a pretty good draw for this spot. Let's keep drawing because I do want to find Loken eventually.
Well met.
Whole lot of months in it.
Thank you, Ella. That is a lot of months. Appreciate the 40. Ooh, that's very bad for me. Fortunately, we can just go here and set some taunts, and that'll be a bit annoying for them. So this theoretically could eat both charges of the weapon.
Have my last bitties.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Al. And before Black Knight, how does Twitch chat always come up with like the least likely cards? Let's get the healing now while we can. We're actually in a pretty reasonable spot if they don't hit a secret passage.
There be no treasure 6 feet under.
Oh, welcome, Baldwin.
Rise me hearty.
This isn't a great play, but alright, we'll just play the Dankness the hard way, I suppose.
Put your newt up, small fry.
I'm very fortunate that the opponent has not drawn any of their card draw just yet. Okay. Let's save this for next turn.
Job's done.
Because you can theoretically twist into Loken.
Blood and plunder.
Do I need to kill that? Sounds like cowardice to me. Most of my cards kill that, even if I don't hit the Loken here.
Has Roffle finally caved to the demands of chat, or is plot twist actually a card in this deck?
No, it's just me not wanting to
What
have
expansion had the most hype in Hearthstone?
Depends on who you ask. I don't know. That's an impossible question to answer. There have been a lot of pretty hype expansions. But thank you, Null. And Kali, thank you for the 100 bits. Plot Twist is just in here so that I don't get a bunch of questions about why Plot Twist isn't in here. We've drawn almost every single card in our deck, and we still can't find the Loken. See, even in chat, there already at least 3 different answers.
Give me that. Not what I want.
Oh my god, we did it. Like, it's not even as good as probably just playing the Fanottem here either.
The whispers. I can't resist.
But it's funnier. Good luck, have fun. Ooh, they could have used that like 3 turns ago.
There be no treasure 6 feet under.
Look! You shinies!
I mean, it's possible they're playing Wicked Stab. Okay, that could actually kill me.
Rise me, hearties!
Trust the pipe.
But it didn't. Opponent seems to like taking tentacles to the face, so here's another one. Alright, let's look for the Loken. Instead we got the Dankness, that's unfortunate. Because of the way that companies deal with cheating and botting, you don't ever, like, it feels like you don't see a result on that, so it just feels like, I don't know, sending the report into the void. Like, you don't get any tangible result. And I can't just sit here and report, like, legitimately every single opponent that I queue into.
Is mine.
I would legitimately be reporting people more than I'm playing the game of Hearthstone if that were the case.
The shadow engulfs us.
Probably just do this to play it safe. Especially since the bowing coming down. It's 5, 6. We have more than enough with the Dark Skies, but we do get better value off of it as a result of this coming down. I want to look to play the Demonic Assault next turn, and then have the Forge of Wills into Drain Soul after that. Could have been worse.
The Iron Divine is mine.
It's fine, that means they didn't get the... Or they could have gotten the Felwing. Probably got the Felwing. Didn't get the Shadow Bomber. So it's going to be hard to get the Felwing in play.
Job done.
So we're pretty much, by next turn we'll be all set up for the jailer turn.
The shadow engulfs us.
Yeah. Well, at least we have a target for our Drain Soul now. So I assume they just hero power and drop it. Oh, this actually lines up pretty nicely. Did the turn that I have prepped. Okay. A lot of Mind Blasts is concerning. But I do have ways to heal at least. Let's tap because we do need that guy. You ever go to any cons? No, but I did get tickets for BlizzCon this year. So I intend to go to that for the first time. You think the Darkness would see play if the candles denied draw? Probably not. Ow. That's another one. That's why I wanted to heal, is just to... Ooh. It's a really gross top deck.
The whispers. I can't resist.
Glad we didn't draw the Fanottem here. Looks pretty good to me. So no Sakon. You mean Sakon D's nuts? Got him. I've been streaming for like 6 years. You're gonna have to try harder than that to get me. You know what we need is even bigger minions. Oh. Okay. That said, I am pretty tired of this ship's cannon. I've seen so many of them today.
On ignorance.
Pinnacle slap. Alright, I'm just gonna hard mull, especially on the coin, because all of my deck is it's removal and then it's like the minion cheats, right? So I'm just gonna hard mull for the minion cheats, especially on the coin.
They will never catch me.
You got a new silver button yet? No, it's it's been less than a week. It doesn't just like appear at my door when I hit 100k. Like I still haven't like been validated at 100,000 by YouTube yet.
If 3 rights make a left.
They will never
Or verified, whatever you want to call it. Looks like a Defile to me. This is fine to keep. I don't know if I'm going to have room to play it on 3 necessarily. Don't you have to apply for it and all? Yeah, like my application gets denied because I don't have, or like it's been very few days since I hit the milestone. It seems good here, so I'm gonna take it so that I can tap and because I didn't want to spend the coin on the demonic assault in case that this happened.
No one moves like I do.
Got bad news for this opponent. I'm just gonna take this because it's a card that is not a minion, so. And we do the same thing with this. We take any card that is not exactly the Dankness. Like it might be tempting to send back a Gary or a Fanottem, but I just want to make sure that I don't draw the Danky boy. So I'll take that. We'll go here. Enjoy that glaive tar, friend.
I see.
Hey, I got you, friend.
I don't think that's going to make it big enough to survive. Do we go for lethal here? Wait, do I even... I don't have lethal. So, it could be lethal if I get 6 damage to everything.
Profound ignorance.
So let's go for that.
Yolia Tube support gang. Big grats on the eventual silver button.
Yeah, thank you, Skyblood. Yeah, because I would have only been 27, even with the Siphon Soul.
All eyes shall be opened.
Honestly, I kind of like just full keeping this hand. It looks like it's going to be quite useful. I don't want to risk accidentally drawing the Dankness. So I basically just play the Mortal Coil, play the Dark Skies, play the Dark Sky, or Mortal Coil tap, Dark Skies, coin, Jailer. It's a good pickup, so it doesn't like corner me into having to tap next turn. I have -1 card in my hand. It's very important that I'm able to kill that here. This is probably best case scenario in terms of how this is shaping up. Sure. The only Titans board interaction I know is you can bang the hammer.
6 feet under.
So, it's pretty sweet.
Rise me, hearties.
I'm tempted to just like Felbolt and tap here.
You say -1 card. I say +1 Dark Skies damage. Get your grind set in order, SMH.
That's true. That's true. I appreciate the optimism on that. Thank you, Onu. So I think I'm just going to use the Dark Skies here. What that could do is open up the possibility of top decking Forge of Wills so that I can play Forge and the Unstable Felbolt next turn. So as good as the Bolt looks this turn, I think that like the opportunity to top deck a Forge is a little bit more appealing.
Blood and plunder.
Worst case scenario, we just play another Dark Skies, and we get to retain this for the future. Oh my god, just like we drew it up. I mean, it's a very small thing, but it has a pretty big impact on the outcome of this game, or at least the speed of the game.
Trust the pirate's code.
And we aren't stuck leaving a captain on the board anymore.
The whispers. I can't resist.
Yep. Alright. Threatening lethal. Who's the aggro deck now? Close.
Look! You shinies!
Give me that.
Not what I.
Oh yeah, that's the priority target here.
There be no treasure 6 feet under.
Way too dank. Alright. Seeker Mage is a horrendous matchup for this deck, unfortunately. So hopefully we just hit the Loken quickly. Doesn't surrendering against bots make you face them more and more? Nope. Okay, Gary.
It'll be our little secret.
Is Hearthstone matchmaking fully random? No. What? Okay. I'm really not looking forward to the objection, though. There are two possibilities. When you have a star bonus, or when you're at Legend, you queue based on your rating, which is your MMR, matchmaking rating. When you are... After you exhaust your star bonus, you queue based on your rank, which is what I am doing right now. So that's why there are a lot of bots, is because I'm queuing based on rank, not rating. Losing games cannot reduce your rank past the rank floor, so it's meaningless. So I am at the, like, the singular spot on ladder. Well, unless same thing would be true if I hit Diamond 5, because I'd still be without a star bonus. But I'm at a place on ladder where I'm queuing based on rank. Because I climbed too fast day 1 of the expansion, which was day 1 of the season. A lot of the people that are at this rank, and therefore able for me to queue into, are either people that are tryharding or robots. This is going to be a brutal objection if it is one.
The whispers. I can't
Doesn't look like it is. Theoretically could be a explosive trap runes. All right. That was fortunate for me.
I'm with the cabal!
You're not ready for this.
So this card must not be a secret. Beautiful. Lethal? Yeah, but we still had to, like, think about Ice Block, right?
Your future unwinds, Prince. Your crown will open the way.
Jeez, N'Zoth got mouthy all of a sudden. This deck consistent even if you don't high roll. It depends on the matchup. Like, it can just do a good job of being a control Warlock, you know? Speaking of, I should probably have a Tamsin in here, shouldn't I? I completely forgot about her. She's been in timeout because of the bug with the imps, but I should probably add her in.
Reach for the skies.
I do not want Gary. I think I can afford to tap here. The token bug fixed? I believe so. I think I read that in the patch notes, but we'll see.
The more you struggle, the better.
Visible token bug is fixed? Okay, I thought so. Thank you, Hat. Also, hello. Probably need the Dark Skies. But I think I'm going to have to clear this turn. Because it is quite large. Would this deck benefit from being even? Probably not. What's the upside?
The citadel stands strong.
We'd also lose the ability to play Gary. Can somebody tell this opponent to stop playing cards, please? It's not bad, I just don't have good activator for it right now.
Ketchup is a liquid made from a fruit and contains 20%, makes it a soda.
Brian just skipped over like a portion of that sentence. 20% sugar? Is that accurate? I think it's more of a juice than it is a soda. But I'm not an expert. This sets up for a Defile. No, it doesn't. Not quite. Yeah, soda kind of implies, very much implies carbonation. So I don't think that's true at all. I think it's more a juice than a soda. This is gonna hurt, but Mama Roffle didn't raise a coward. Ketchup is technically a sports drink. That's true. That's true. It doesn't have a lot of sodium, I imagine, so it's probably good for replenishing electrolytes. Ketchup is more like a jam? No, don't be ridiculous. What, are you spreading your ketchup on toast? Of course not. You drink it like a sane person. By this metric, I believe we should start classifying champagne as a soda. Yeah, sure, why not? Then you can have it at lunch. There's water or ketchup in your cup. Hey,
Time is against me.
look. Some things are best kept a secret.
Yeah! Let's go!
Are they gonna get this attack in? Oops. Should I not be drinking champagne at lunch? No, it's very clearly a breakfast drink.
And close enough.
Draw 6 or no balls? Oh, there's chat's favorite game again where they make the most absurd suggestion coupled with or no balls, as though it's going to entice me to make egregious misplays.
The country is beneath me.
I don't need chat taunting me to make egregious misplays, I just do it on my own. Why does no one ever choose draw 6? I've chosen it. It's just often you're behind when you're playing the Symphony of Sins, so drawing 6 isn't going to solve that. Wow, imagine if they had gotten that attack in. It sure would have been bad for me. I mean, I don't survive to a Frostworm Fury anyway, right?
The whispers. I can't resist.
Just gotta get dank here. Alright, hold your breath, chat.
Hey, you! Install these for me!
It's promising. Life pepper, no balls, yeah. Not really where I wanted that to land. Okay, surely they don't top deck the Fury here, right? Okay.
One more death can't hurt.
Okay. Need to dodge one more draw here.
The more you
Oh no.
the better.
Who surely she works in HR.
It is time to end this.
Could have double siphoned to survive the Frostworm, no? I mean, yeah, I guess that would have ended up being the same, but... Thank you to legendary supporters Battlefly, Brian Quinn, Faye Cinderheart, Fizzle Jizzix, Free All the House Elves, Industrials Black, Justice Crater, Kali Alkali, Cathandrian, Lilu, Nate Drex, Onu Rubu, Shadow1 TV, and Sognisman.